The City Council approved presentation of a request for proposal for modification of services for delivery of single-stream curbside recycling services to Latah Sanitation. The level and nature of services sought and outlined in the RFP include biweekly single-stream curbside recycling collection for 5,740 single-family dwellings that currently have access to curbside recycling, and alternating biweekly single-stream curbside recycling collection for approximately 3,992 apartment units that do not currently have access to curbside recycling. The RFP asks Latah Sanitation to provide roll carts for an estimated 60% participation rate for the new program. The RFP also asks for two 20-yard roll-off containers for additional glass drop-off site or sites and monitoring and maintenance of said sites. Prior to implementation of the new single-stream recycling program, glass will be discontinued to be accepted at the curb. This will be kind of a timing issue. Glass will continue to be accepted at Moscow Recycling as well as the new site or sites. The RFP also asks for costs for the roll carts, operations and maintenance, costs for material recovery, facility processing, and tonnage based on an estimated 1,120 tons of collected material annually. The RFP also asks for one-time startup costs for the new program. The RFP response from Latah Sanitation proposes the use of Toter brand roll carts equipped with radio frequency identification tags similar to those used in our solid waste collection carts. Toter builds a strong and durable cart that is widely used for single stream applications as well as solid waste collection applications. The response included three options for council consideration. Option number one included the use of 35-gallon, 65-gallon, and 95-gallon roll carts with an annual cost of $325,000, $325,959. Option two included the use of 65 and 95-gallon carts with an estimated annual cost of $303,167. And option three included the use of 95-gallon carts only with an annual cost of $278,604. In addition to these annual costs, each option had one-time startup costs of $182,500. When presented to the Public Works Finance Committee on March 23rd, the committee recommended option two, which was the 65 and 95-gallon carts. In your packets, you have summary spreadsheets outlining the proposed costs for each option. The difference in cost between the options is attributed mostly to operations and maintenance, including exchanges and repairs and storage, extra cart inventory, and replacement parts necessary with multiple size carts. I would like to address these summaries and answer any questions that the council may have, and then Public Works Finance Committee also asked staff to be prepared to discuss the financial aspects of the new program. Following the summary spreadsheets, I have prepared a short presentation addressing the effects on the sanitation fund by implementation of single stream recycling. So with that, I don't know if council has any question on these options, but I can go through them one by one.
Well, Tim, I asked Wayne, Public Works and Finance Committee, listened to this on March 23rd.
We did. There was a pretty good discussion as to the different size of containers that would be utilized. Everything from the option number one, which is a 95, down to all three of them, which would be an additional 65 or 35. And our recommendation was, as Tim indicated, option number two, to allow folks to have an choice between a 65 and a 95. $1.72 extra for a single-family residence wasn't too bad. The thing we liked more than anything else is the fact that now the apartments will be taking advantage of this also. And so we'll see, what was it, a 60% increase in recycling?
We're anticipating a 100% increase in tonnage, but that includes the glass being removed from the curbside.
Participation, though, I think.
60% participation rate is what we estimate.
So that was good. Now, Walter had brought something up, however, about looking into the budget and seeing if there was a way to do this without any additional $1.72 a month increase. And didn't you ask that, Walter, as I recall?
And I understood Tim to indicate they're prepared to answer that. I have a couple of more questions before he gets to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're
Yeah,
finished.
Walter, go ahead. Continue.
To follow up on what Wayne said, I was number one, I want to go to single-stream recycling, period, end of story. Let's just do it. It takes people some amount of time to throw stuff in a green bucket all week long and then turn around and have to sort it out into 5 or 6 different things and go find little plastic bags to put the 3 cans in and all this stuff and get it out to the curb. I have experience with single stream. It's really nice to step to the back door and throw everything in it, including all the different kinds of plastic that you can't send now. It's just a lot of easier operation for people, so I can understand why more people would take advantage of it. And I was a proponent of the single 95 until I did talk to a few people and listen to some folks and realize that storing a 95 can be a problem for some people. It'll be picked up every 2 weeks, and if you've got Christmas week and you got a lot of boxes and all this stuff, you may have to hold part of the cardboard for the next cycle around to get it in a 65, but I'm kind of coming around to 2 sizes, as Wayne said. With that said, though, the apartments would have 95s.
Correct.
You're not proposing a single big dumpster that's labeled recycle because of contamination.
Correct. We
Possibility.
propose that the apartments use 95s only. The 65s and 95s would be available to the single-family folks.
And, Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead,
And
Walter.
to make the point clear to people that are listening and so forth, every solid waste customer of the city of Moscow would pay this, whether or not they elect to recycle.
Whether or not they elected to participate in the program or not.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
That's correct. Okay. So this would, it wouldn't, so everybody would pay whatever we end up with. Art was sat on the Committee of Public Works as well. Did you have any other points about the discussion you wanted to make? And then and Wayne or I, or the mayor can ask for the question on, can we afford to absorb this or not?
The only point that I had that pushed me over the edge was the fact that initially I was in favor of large dumpsters at the apartment buildings for all the recycling, but it was pointed out that if you wind up with a couple of glass bottles in there, the whole giant container is then shot and is a detriment to the whole process. And so therefore I thought, well, 95 galloners make a whole lot more sense, because if you get a bottle or two in there, you lose the 95 gallons as opposed to a giant dumpster full of recyclables. And so that's what pushed me over the edge on that issue. And again, the people who have more difficulty storing larger units and moving them around, even if you're frail or have a disability or something, toting a 95-gallon around could be a little problematic. So having the 2 options, I thought, fit most of the people in town best.
Yeah, let's talk to some of the other counselors.
The 2 options sound great to me. I know it's been proposed, Tom Lamar wrote to the council and said he favored the smaller one because he doesn't have that much refuse as a single person, but it seemed like
the 3-gallon one was never an option.
Yeah, yeah, the 3-gallon size didn't really work out. But it seems like you can retain that. It's not smelly garbage. It's cardboard and plastic, and it can be retained until it's full and then put out to the curb. So since it reduces the cost, I think it would be better to go with the bigger option.
Well, Tim, if I remembered right too, and this wasn't brought up, the single stream would be picked up like every other week, twice
Correct.
a month? Is that
Correct.
correct? So if
Bi-weekly.
somebody did have a 65-gallon container and they recycled, but they may not need to put it out every 2 weeks. They may put it out
Exactly.
once a month or twice in a 6-week period or something of that nature. So that there's some availability there too. And as Jim said, it's not garbage that's going to smell your garage up or anything else. It's recyclable. Jim, you had another point, I'm sorry.
Just if Tim could tell us, like for reference, the totes that we take out with garbage now to the curb, what size are those?
Those are 35-gallon, 65-gallon, and 95.
Oh, negative, the green tub.
The small one, recyclable,
Oh, I
For
believe
garbage.
those are 14 or 18.
18-gallon?
No, you're talking about the little boxes. I'm talking about what we use for garbage now, the roll carts.
That's what I thought. They're 35, 65, and 95-gallon.
Okay.
Wayne?
Just a couple of things I wanted to clarify is, number one, and these come from emails that I've gotten from a few concerned folks, and that is that, first of all, the recycling center is not going to be closed. So we'll make
No.
that clear.
No, it is not going to be closed, and we will continue to take source-separated material down at the recycling center. Nothing will change.
Nothing has changed there. And as far as plastic bottles, we'll be able to put in numbers 1 through 7,
Correct.
okay? And that, we're not going to see that change and all of a sudden decide, well, 6 and 7s are not good. We'll all be able to do all those. And then did you mention the fact that recycling will go to every other week?
Correct.
Yeah, so every other week. So with that, I think I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that this
Time
council...
out.
Dan, Dan would like to speak.
Joe, Wayne. Well, I call time out.
I'll recognize the council president, Dan, and we'll come back.
You know, before you go making a motion, Wayne, I want to know about if we can keep this at a zero cost to the
Well, let's find that
end
out.
consumer. That's been my big thing. Is a lot of folks have said to me, you know, I'm all for this, but I'm taxed enough already. You know, that's been the big thing. So we're going to see if we can make Don tighten the belt a little bit here. And
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the summary cost spreadsheets that were in the packets made sense
Right.
to everybody. If you don't need any further clarification.
just what color are the totes? That's
Well, we're
What
looking at-
color do you want? I propose green.
okay.
I think what Dan was referring to, though, is on option number 2, the $1.72. Is that
Right.
correct, Dan?
Can we absorb that?
That's what the question that Dan
And that's
had.
what the presentation will
Okay,
address.
let's find out.
Okay.
Before we go saying what we want.
Start that baby up so we can.